Many years ago, in a land far away, there lived a man named Abraham. He was a kind man, gentle, and always ready to help others. Abraham loved God with all his heart. He listened to God's voice and obeyed everything God asked of him. One day, God spoke to Abraham, saying, "Leave your country and your people and go to the land I will show you." Abraham didn't ask why or where. Instead, he trusted God completely. He packed up his tents, gathered his sheep, goats, and camels, and took his wife Sarah and his nephew Lot, and started the journey. God made a special promise to Abraham. "I will make you the father of many nations. Your descendants will be as many as the stars in the sky." Abraham believed God, even though he was already old, and Sarah had no children. They had waited so many years, but still, no baby came. Abraham and Sarah had grown very old. Abraham was almost 100 years old, and Sarah was 90. They still had no child. One day, 3 visitors came to Abraham's tent. Abraham hurried to welcome them and prepared a feast for them. The visitors were not ordinary men. They were messengers from God. One of them said, "Next year Sarah will have a son." Sarah overheard them and laughed to herself. "How can I have a baby when I'm so old?" she thought. But God said, "Is anything too hard for me?" And just as God promised, Sarah gave birth to a baby boy. Abraham was filled with joy and named him Isaac, which means laughter. Isaac brought happiness and laughter to Abraham and Sarah. They loved him with all their hearts. Years passed. Isaac grew into a strong and cheerful boy. He loved running around the tents, helping with the animals, and learning about God from his father. Abraham and Sarah were thankful every day for the blessing of their son. But one day, God spoke to Abraham again. "Abraham," God called. "Yes, Lord," Abraham replied. "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love so dearly, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." Abraham's heart stopped. His beloved son? The son God had promised? The child he and Sarah had waited for all their lives? But Abraham didn't argue, he didn't complain. He didn't delay. He trusted God even though he didn't understand. Early the next morning, Abraham got up, saddled his donkey, and took 2 servants and Isaac with him. He chopped the wood for the offering and set out for the mountain God had spoken about. They traveled for 3 days. During the journey, Abraham walked in silence. Isaac skipped along beside him, holding his father's hand, unaware of what was to come. On the 3rd day, Abraham saw the mountain in the distance. He said to the servants, "Stay here with the donkey. Isaac and I will go up and worship. Then we will come back to you." Did you notice Abraham said, we will come back? Even though God had asked him to offer Isaac, Abraham believed God would somehow make everything right. Abraham placed the wood on Isaac's back, and they began to climb the mountain together. As they walked, Isaac looked up and asked, "Father?" "Yes, my son? We have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham looked at his son and said, "God will provide, my son." Isaac nodded and trusted his father, just as Abraham trusted God. When they reached the top of the mountain, Abraham built an altar with stones and placed the wood on it. Then, with a trembling heart, he turned to Isaac. "Isaac," he said softly, "God has asked me to offer you to him." Isaac looked into his father's eyes. He saw sadness, love, and deep trust in God. Isaac didn't run, he didn't fight. He allowed his father to tie him and place him gently on the altar. He too trusted God. Abraham raised the knife with tears in his eyes. Suddenly, a loud voice called from heaven. "Abraham! Abraham!" "Yes, Lord!" Abraham cried. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," said the angel. "Do not harm him. Now I know that you truly fear God. You have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Abraham dropped the knife. His heart leapt with joy and relief. Isaac was safe. Abraham looked up, and there, caught in a bush by its horns, was a ram. He quickly untied Isaac, hugged him tightly, and together they offered the ram as a burnt offering to God. Abraham named the place Jehovah-Jireh, which means the Lord will provide. God spoke again, "Because you obeyed me and did not withhold your son, I will bless you greatly. Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. All nations will be blessed because of you." Abraham and Isaac returned to the servants and journeyed home, thankful and full of praise. Children, the story of Abraham and Isaac teaches us deep lessons. Faith means trusting God even when we don't understand. Obedience is doing what God says even when it's hard. God is good and he always provides. Isaac trusted his father and Abraham trusted God. Abraham's faith was so strong that he believed God could raise Isaac from the dead if he needed to. That is how much he believed in God's promises. Many years later, God would send his own son, Jesus, to be a sacrifice, not just for one family, but for the whole world. Just like Abraham was willing to offer Isaac, God offered Jesus because he loves us. But unlike Isaac, Jesus truly died on the cross. And just like Abraham believed God could raise Isaac, God raised Jesus from the dead. Abraham and Isaac's story is a picture of what God would do for us one day. 1. Why did God test Abraham? 2. How did Abraham show his faith? 3. What did Isaac learn about trusting God? 4. What can we learn from this story? 5. What does the Lord will provide mean in our lives today? God's timing is perfect. Abraham and Sarah waited many years for Isaac, and God kept his promise. Trust is powerful. Abraham trusted God even when things didn't make sense. Obedience shows love. Abraham loved God so much he obeyed without question. God always provides. Even when things look impossible, God makes a way.